Qué vergüenza. Bueno.
But I will let you do the welcome alone, and then, we do the order.
Okay.
So you say hello, you introduce John,
John,
then you speak
I
again,
introduce you.
and then you, yeah. I know. But these seats are made for Spanish girls. I'm almost stuck.
Ay. ¿Ya? Ya. Egunon, guztioi.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome.
Welcome. Buenos días, queridas amigas.
Welcome, dear friends, mayors, authorities, dignitaries, and friends. Here we're talking about being friendly, so I would rather say dear friends rather than dear dignitaries. Both myself and my colleague here will be here introducing the result of this a lot of work. It's the result of work by the three Basque administrations, IMSERSO and the WHO, and all we have to say to all of you is thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your patience as well. We know we're a little bit late starting, and we're very punctual here in the Basque Country, so we're extremely sorry for this late start, but we will get underway right now. And here we have our host of this event, who is the Mayor of Donostia San Sebastian, John Insausti, and he's going to have, I think he's got 3.5 words for us and no more because we're running very late. Thank you very much. Welcome, John. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to apologize, and I'm going to be speaking both on my own behalf and the behalf of the President of the Guipúzcoa Provincial Council, Eider Mendoza, and I'm sorry for this late start. Good morning, everyone. Welcome here. Thank you very much for being here. I would like to welcome all our dignitaries, the representatives of the different institutions who are here today, and all of you who are here who want to be friendly and to make your cities friendly as well. Friendly for older people, so age friendly. So what we have to do is we have to change our outlook, both in the short term, both in the long term, because we do have to work to resolve problems day by day, but we also need to adopt a longer term approach. So as I said before, we have to, as I was saying in Basque, and I'm now repeating in Spanish, we have to have a twofold vision, a short term and a long term vision. We have to escape from the tyranny and the slavery of the present moment, of doing everything at the last minute, to have a much longer term outlook if we want to have really age-friendly cities. And this event is going to give us the opportunity to share experiences, to talk with each other, to share ideas. And our aim here in the Basque Country is to make Donostia San Sebastian the happiest and most prosperous city in Europe, to make sure that everyone here has a very high quality of life. And this is something that is in all our strategic plans. People don't talk about happiness, I think, as much as they should. We want to make sure that our citizens feel happy here and feel proud of their city. In Donostia, San Sebastian, we have just passed the threshold of having 190,000 people living here. but our rate of aging is 26%. So more than 1 out of every 4 people is aged over the age of 60, which means that there are challenges ahead with regard to care, with regard to mobility, with regard to transport. So we need new ideas, and we want to share with you some of our experiences, but we also want to learn from you, and we also want to look inside our own institution, our own local council, to ask ourselves how we want to live in the future, and what can we do to make sure that people who live longer will live well right to the end of their lives. How can we change our city so that we can still be an equal city with equal opportunities?
Your presence here, we want to create a big conversation so we can learn from each other. Let's analyze together how to address global questions from a local perspective. So welcome everyone to Donostia San Sebastian, and I wish you a happy week in our city. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Eskerrik asko.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. That's a very clear representation of our intergenerational approach, because he's obviously such a young mayor. So thank you very much. And thank you also very much to the President of the Provincial Council, Eider Mendoza, who is here with us today, but is in fact going to refrain from speaking in order to save a little bit of time. It's an honour for me to be able to introduce you now to Anne Berit. She comes from Norway, and she is the chair of this conference, and she's going to be here to address a few words. Anne, the floor is all yours.
Good morning, everyone. It's really wonderful to be here with all of you in beautiful San Sebastian. I'm honoured, humble, and also a little bit nervous now to be the president of this Congress. I want to say a big thank you for all the amazing hard work, our collaboration, and the generosity of IMSERSO, who not only took on the enormous task of organising a Congress, but also made sure there was no Congress fee, so making it possible and accessible for many participants. Hard work, commitment, and generosity have also been the hallmarks of the co-organisers, the City Council of San Sebastian, the Basque Government, the Provincial Council of Gipuzkoa, and last but not least, the official sponsor, World Health Organization. We had a great international committee who contributed with valuable insight and experience. We have age-friendly ambassadors who play a very important role with sharing their experience, but also giving us advice for the future. Thank you to our co-hosts, Brazil, Costa Rica, and Norway, for your contributions, and a wonderful group of supporting organizations. Truly a team effort that I think deserves an applause. Let's wake up. We are living in a time of profound demographic change. Across countries, cultures, and continents, populations are aging, not as a challenge to be managed, but as a transformation to be embraced. This shift invites us to rethink how we design our communities, our services, and change our attitudes. When cities and communities become age-friendly, they become better for everyone. And when we work together, we unlock solutions that none of us could achieve alone. True progress happens when sectors come together, include citizens through co-creation. We move from fragmented efforts to a shared momentum. Collaboration across sectors is not optional, it's essential. We need to listen and break down the silos. We need to listen to communities, to each other, and to older people. The future we are building must be built with, not just for. We're not starting from scratch. The global network of age-friendly cities and communities started back in 2010, and it keeps growing. I've had the joy and pleasure of working on this agenda for 14 years, and I still love it. I still get energized by it, and I really believe in this way of thinking, working, and developing societies. The fact that it's a global movement allows us to learn faster than we could alone, copy what works, be inspired by diverse perspectives. It reminds us that while our contexts may differ, our goals are shared. Throughout our three-day Congress, we hope to achieve both the celebration of the age-friendly movement to date, but also look into the future, how an age-friendly future looks, with new ways of including people, new ways of developing cities and communities through more co-creation and collaboration. We received many abstracts of high quality for the Congress, and we've tried to put together a diverse mix from nationalities, backgrounds, and perspectives. Together, across sectors and borders, we have the opportunity to shape a future where aging not is seen as a barrier, but as a shared achievement. If we succeed, we'll not only respond to the demographic change, we'll redefine it. We'll show that longer lives can mean better lives. Aging societies can be thriving societies. And we have the best people to do it with, all of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for contributing and engaging. Let's make these 3 days full of experience, exchanges, and let's all create a world that is truly age-friendly for all. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Anne Barrett. And now I would like to ask Nerea Melgosa, who's just come in now. She's a representative of the Basque government. She's a regional minister with the Basque government, and now we're going to pass the floor to her. Good morning, everyone. It's true that Basques, we have the ability of to be at 2 or 3 different places at the same time. As you've just seen, I've just arrived from somewhere else, so I do apologize for my late arrival. Off we go.
Ambassadors, directors, ministers, and welcome everybody to Basque Country. Euskadi is a country that brings together many blessings: natural beauty, quality of life, culture, gastronomy, innovation, and strong identity. It's a model territory that combines industrial and innovative development, with a unique language, the Basque. The oldest in Europe, which after thousands and thousands of years remains alive and makes the Basque Country a nation open to the world and with its own identity. El desarrollo industrial del emprendimiento y de la
Our industrial past and the maintenance of our unique language, the Basque language, is only possible thanks to the community. A community made up of people of all ages, and this always has been a guarantee of success as a countrywide model. This community that I'm talking about is an inclusive community, and here in the Basque Country, in Gipuzkoa, puts older people, older adults at the centre because they have so much to offer, and we want to make sure that they feel good, they feel happy, and this is what welfare and well-being is all about at the end of the day. It's no coincidence that we are holding this conference here in Gipuzkoa. There were a number of different options opting to host this conference, but the WHO finally decided to settle on the Basque Country, and again, it's not a coincidence that this has been so. Over the last 20 years, the number of people aged over 60 years has passed from 18 to 24, and expectations or forecasts say that in fact in 20 years' time that figure will rise to 32%. Life expectancy here is over 84, more or less. 82 for men, 87 for women. In fact, it's one of the highest life expectancies in the world. And we can also say that our older people live well, they enjoy life. And in fact, it is we are a province with a wide range of people with different ages. And of course, we have to understand that it is a diverse group of people. It's not the same to talk about a 64-year-old woman and her needs as it is to talk about an 84-year-old woman and her needs. And we have to understand that. So what we need to do is establish measures to make sure that people who live for a long time can do so for as long as possible without or with the lowest degree of dependence possible, living a full life. Now, this strategy will only work if the different strategies are designed well in collaboration with the people they are designed to benefit. We have remote assistance, which is very well rated by users and reaches over 83,000 homes in the Basque Country. We also have another program called Biziabi, which is an intergenerational co-living program. And in fact, we have 92 different dwellings where we have dwellings who are shared where we have older adults living with much younger generations so that they can live together and enrich each other. This is important because it helps us to increase and improve well-being and quality of life. Another program that we have here in the Basque Country is Euskadi Lagunkoia Berria, which works to make sure that both rural areas and urban areas are more age-friendly. And for this, the community is absolutely essential because we need to strengthen our welfare strategies and our policies. Always based on community, with people centre stage, designed by people for people, because all of us together make up the Basque people. We also have Auzo Lana and Elkarlana, which is another program involving 90 municipalities in this network in all 3 of the Basque provinces. So you're going to learn all about these different programs throughout the course of the next 3 days, because there are 2 options when we're talking about longevity. We can continue what we've been doing in the past, or we can change our outlook with regard to public policies. And in the Basque Country, we have chosen the second option. Today, we're talking about longevity, not as a problem to be resolved, but as a social conquest. We need to celebrate the fact that people are living longer and look after them. The fact that we all live longer is one of the most amazing achievements of our era, and we should celebrate it. And it's not just a case of adding years to our lives. We need to add lives to our years as well to make sure that we live better. So we need to live with a good quality of life right to the end, to continue to participate, to engage, to contribute. These policies are based on a profoundly human and fair idea. Older adults are not just the beneficiaries of subsidies, they are essential parts of our society. And this should be part of the DNA in our cities. They need to make sure they live a full life. Older adults are memory, their knowledge, their experience, their future, their innovation, because in each epocha and each era of your life, people can have new opportunities. Talking about older people is to talk about talent, resilience, attachment, bonds, and an enormous capacity to contribute to the common good. Today, the Pope, who's in the news a lot recently, he was talking, in fact, about the contribution that can be made by older adults, and talking about how we have to look after them. And I think he's obviously read the programme to this conference. So we have a lot to share with you. We also have a lot to learn from all of you during the course of this conference. We have mayors from all over the world. We have representatives of different associations. We're all going to be here together to analyse the best practices from all over the world. And I'm convinced that is going to be a very fruitful experience for all of you. So thank you once again and welcome to the Basque Country.
Thank you for a lovely speech. And I actually understood most of it because I've learned Spanish in these months working with the wonderful Spanish colleagues. It's now my pleasure to give the floor to one of our age-friendly ambassadors. Please come up, Mrs. Heidrun Molenkov, President of Age Platform Europe. The floor is yours.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm very excited and honored to be here with you and to talk to you as one of the ambassadors for this wonderful program on age-friendly cities and communities. My involvement with this program goes back a long way. As a sociologist, I'm generally interested in how people can age well and about the role that various environmental conditions can play in that development. Be it the physical, geographical environment, it makes a big difference whether you live in a flat area or in a hilly area where you have to go up every morning to the doctor or to the shops or back home. So this makes a big difference. And today also the digital environment plays an enormous role for older persons to being able to communicate, to participate in everything they are interested in. I therefore focused on the interplay among personal, societal, technical, and further environmental conditions regarding maintaining autonomy and social participation, and by this, of course, quality of life of older persons. After retiring from my professional career, I continued to engage with the subject, also as a chair of the Universal Accessible and Independent Living of Age Platform. Age Platform is a large European network of organizations of or for older persons. And Age was among the first who called for a Europe for all ages and for environmental conditions that promote active and healthy aging. So, this was also the opportunity for me to participate in the very first World Congress of Age-Friendly Cities and Communities in Dublin in 2011. Maybe some more people here are remembering this wonderful event in Ireland. And what I felt at that time was that in Germany, where I come from, there was very little about this wonderful program. So I tried to follow it, and during the years, in the course of the years of observing the WHO program, I have noticed that it was successfully implemented, particularly where there was a strong personality, championed it with passion and succeeded in bringing people together with the same enthusiasm. And I remember especially Manchester, who is a wonderful example of this kind of approach. Such joint commitment will remain important in the future. However, it is also crucial to establish stable structures that will hold firm even when the initial momentum fades and the endeavors, and we see that there are more difficulties and problems going on, maybe austerity or just the people have to leave for other jobs or so. Then the structure will help to create sustainability. So what does an age-friendly community mean to me personally? It means to me being able to go out of my home to any place I want or have to go, without barriers and in a welcoming way. I should be able to do this without difficulty, and it should be possible to participate in whatever interests me. It means feeling safe and at ease in the streets and public squares, even if there are people who are not familiar to me, who look strange to me, who maybe have bottles in their hand and dogs at their side, that I even feel safe and at ease in such kind of environments. And the Age-Friendly City program can create the opportunity to create places and occasions where it is possible to meet and to talk together, to learn more about the different groups that are present in a municipality, to learn from each other, to try to create together a better community. So, based on all these experiences, what are my recommendations? First, find someone who is convinced by the WHO program and concept and actively advocates for it. Second, be patient. The process takes time, the right people and the right momentum. Don't give up if you are truly convinced. And third, remember that age-friendly means more than just accessibility, services and care. It means an attractive, welcoming environment also is crucial. And this means respect and mutual appreciation and absolutely involvement in this idea of coming together and of becoming a livable city for all generations, all cultures, all people living there. Thank you so much for your attention.
Muchísimas gracias, Indru.
Thank you very much, Indran. And I will now pass the floor to our second ambassador, who is Alexander Kalache, who I'm sure many of you already know and know well, in fact, because he was the creator of this program back in 2005 in the conference on geriatrics in Rio de Janeiro. He's from Brazil, of course. And in fact, that was the very first age-friendly city here. So thank you very much, Alex, for being here, and you have the floor.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much, dear Maite. Thank you very much, all of you. I don't have much time. I've got 7 minutes. It's really difficult in 7 minutes to just talk about all of this, but I'll do my best. Let's go back to where we were in 2005. As the director, as the OMS network of age-friendly cities, the WHO network, it was wonderful to be here in the WHO conference, the World Conference in 2002. What was the UN conference then? Now, we knew that in 2007, we were going to declare that for the first time in history, there were going to be more people living in urban areas than there were in rural areas. So the question was quite a natural one. So we're living longer. We have more and more people who are going to grow old in cities. And are the cities ready for that? And the answer was very clearly no. So we carried out a pilot project in the district where I grew up, near Copacabana. And it's not just, a place with a beach and music and beautiful women and strong men. It's more than that. It's a district where a lot of older people live, older adults live. So we carried out a pilot study there, and we presented the results of the study, in the conference that was organized by the International Association of Geriatrics, which was held in 2005. We had a very large international audience there, and there was someone who was there then and who is here now, and it was the Director of Public Health Agents Canada, Margaret Gills, who has always supported me. And in fact, we organized a new meeting in 2007 in Vancouver, which is where the Vancouver Protocol was established, with a large group of geriatricians, but also sociologists and other specialists as well. And that's where we established a methodology. And we applied that methodology in 35 different cities of different sizes and types, not necessarily to make them more age-friendly cities, but at least to find the direction that we were wanting to be head, to work out where it was that we needed to be heading, to see what we could do to start this process of becoming more age-friendly.
Sí lo hemos hecho.
So that's what we did back in 2016. We analyzed the outcome of this project, and in 2017, as I was going to leave the WHO, we published the Global Guide of WHO for age-friendly cities. Today we have 1,750 members, and I am very happy about that. We need to think about the future, not just about the past. Older people have memories, but they also have a vision. So let's look back and forward. We want to know what we are going to be doing with, or the issues we're dealing with. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the older people of the future. So we are here working in an intergenerational way, and it is fundamental that we are interrelated, interconnected. We need to be fully aware of that, and we need to work in all different fields at all levels. I feel very happy after the meeting we held yesterday with the mayors, including the mayor of Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is a city with 20 million inhabitants, sorry, 12 million inhabitants, more than 2 million older people, older adults. It is the main economic hub of the global south. And they now they're going to be holding the next edition of the Congress next year, in a context, in a forum meeting more than 15,000 people in an iconic place of the city of Sao Paulo. And we need these. So far, the global network has been joined by hundreds of cities, wonderful cities from Canada, Spain, France, the UK, the US, but we need, and I think that we all agree about this, is to focus more on the countries of the global south. And because we don't have many of those in our network. So we now have this study that's been carried out. I think that the representative of Sao Paulo have brought some copies of this with them. And this is a detailed analysis of everything that's going on. And this is my takeaway message for you all. We cannot come up with a program drafted by the government. I mean, Mr. Mayor, tomorrow you're going to be replaced. Another mayor will come and replace you. And we don't know if he will be so engaged as you are. So we need state-level policies. Whoever the mayor is, we need to keep working in the same direction. And there are many different cities in our network that were very motivated at first, but who left and stopped working on these kind of projects. So we need a legal framework that guarantees the continuity, the sustainability of our project, so that in 5-10 years' time, we'll still be working on all these issues. So, this is my main takeaway message today. We have an important budget. We have a forum on longevity meeting in Sao Paulo every year in September, gathering thousands of people. Sao Paulo has joined the WHO Global Network for Age-Friendly Cities and Communities. And this is a good opportunity for us to integrate more cities from the global south. 8% of the increase in older adults will happen in the global south this century. So I'm asking you, representatives from cities and countries that are wealthier, to come together and support cities and countries from the global south, so that we have this sustainability in our projects. Thank you very much indeed.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias. Como pueden...
Thank you very much. As you can see, we have very interesting proposals for the future, where many of us present here today will not be here anymore, but continuity is key, of course. I will now hand the floor to Ann-Berit, who is going to introduce the next guest.
Now I have the pleasure of giving the floor to a fellow Norwegian. So it's my great pleasure to introduce State Secretary from the Ministry of Health, Norway, Usman Ahmad Mushtaq. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and dear friends, it's a great honor to be here among you today, and I would first like to start with thanking the Spanish government for hosting us and for bringing us together, all the ambassadors of aging-friendly society, and it is great that Norway is also a co-host of this Congress, and I'm very glad that we have our own Ann-Berit to chair this Congress. We're very proud of you, Ann-Berit. And I would like to applaud for you as well. Thank you. I have to admit that as a relatively young person, preparing for an age-friendly society has not always been on top of my mind, until it affects you personally. My dad started showing signs of dementia a couple of years ago, and then suddenly this topic was a top priority and political priority for me. I'm also a physician, so my perspective on this issue is both personal and professional. I know for a fact that to maintain a sustainable welfare system, we must welcome and stimulate the contribution and inclusion of the senior population. It is not a nice to have, it is a need that we have in our day and age. An age-friendly society serves a double but interconnected purpose. A healthier and more active senior generation is crucial for reducing the cost for healthcare and social systems, and is a benefit for whole of society and local communities with active aging citizens. But it is also equally important for the quality of life of the individuals and their families to be able to maintain autonomy for as long as possible, even with disability, and to remain an active part of the local community. So in short, an age-friendly community is both a societal goal, but also an effective preventive approach. In my hometown of Oslo, diversity is a strength for our society. But diversity, dear friends, also requires a lot of hard work. Ethnic, socioeconomic, and cultural diversities are often concentrated in certain parts of cities all across the world. And we must also recognize that inequalities within these societies is something that our policies must address. The impact of demographic change is guiding the Norwegian government's policy over decades along two key lines of effort. Firstly, ensuring sustainable welfare system for future generations and securing safe and dignified old age for our older citizens. Almost 20% of the Norwegian working age population are employed in the health and care sectors. And we cannot, in the future, meet the future demand just by increasing more healthcare professionals. We need to do and work differently. The first line of priority, I would like to highlight the success of our pension reform. And I know that we don't talk a lot about this, but it is very important, which includes mechanisms that stimulate longer working lives combined with flexibility, and a social security system that ensures financial security for those who retire early. The results has been a rise in average retirement age, which is positive because we know that the senior labor workforce has a tremendous benefit for our society, and a reduction in the number of persons receiving a minimum pension. The second line of main effort has been a solid, publicly funded system for long-term care and universal healthcare system that provides care based on need, independent of your age. Through successive reforms, we have shifted the focus from institutional care to more home-based approach, enabling people to receive assistance and care in their own homes for as long as possible. Dear friends, that is a way of providing dignified healthcare services. More recently, we're also focusing on the cross-sectoral aspect of how we build age-friendly societies. The most recent white paper, Live Safely at Home Reform, was prepared by 5 ministers with measures spanning multiple sectors. We also have a strong structure for implementation involving a wide range of our various sectors, including local and regional governments. However, I have to admit, and we also do have tremendous amount of challenges. Norway is a small country of 5.5 million people, but we do have 357 municipalities, and care services are devolved as a municipal area of work, which creates obviously some variation of quality of care, and this is something that we have to address, and that's why I'm very glad that we have something called a Center for an Age-Friendly Norway, who plays an active and vital role in engaging older peoples themselves, municipalities, and actors beyond the healthcare sector to co-creating age-friendly solutions in areas such as outdoor spaces, social meeting places, and digital inclusion. And actors like these are tremendously important because the care and the care services are devolved in many different levels, but also the responsibility is cross-sectoral. So looking forward, aging policy is going to be and continue to be one of our top priority areas. There is a deeper recognition that we need to shift the perspective on older people from being seen and talked about in the public society as a burden to something that is a benefit for our generation and our societies. Dear friends, this is something that we wanted. We wanted to live longer, and our policies are achieving that, but we also need to live more healthy. We are impatient to move from words to action, and recently we announced a partnership with NGOs and civil society organizations to mobilize the resource and experiences of senior citizens challenging volunteering by older people towards solving pressing societal challenges. We cannot talk about age-friendly societies without also mentioning housing. Recently, we have taken an initiative on housing, inviting the housing industry, the municipalities, and representatives of the senior populations to propose new ideas for building more age-friendly homes. We now have a promising list of innovations that we hope are going to be implemented in the near future. Dear friends, engagement and advocacy works. The impatience of stakeholders like yourself pushing us to promote the opportunities, capacities, and contributions of older population. It works. I would like to thank you for all the efforts that you do across the world on this issue, because that ends up kicking us politicians into action. I hope you have an inspiring Congress, and may you return home with new ideas and solutions for building more age-friendly societies wherever you live. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm really happy that Norway is focusing so much on age-friendly development. And I think we have the right man now to equal your energy. I have the pleasure of introducing the most optimistic force of nature that I know, Tiago de Sá, Technical Officer, Age-Friendly Environments, World Health Organization. The floor is yours.
Good morning, buenos dias, egunon. I think we have more energy in this group than this, so I'll do it again. Good morning, buenos dias, egunon. Thank you. Dear friends, queridos amigos y amigas, it's a great pleasure to gather here after 13 years since we last convened the Global Age-Friendly Community in Quebec. The 4th World Congress of Age-Friendly Cities is an opportunity to recognize how far we come in urban, rural settings, regions, countries, large, small cities, working hand in hand now with civil society, grassroots movements, researchers, practitioners, policymakers, because we know that together we demonstrate that everyone has a role to play in creating environments where all people can live and age well. This Congress is also, as mentioned Dr. Kalash, a moment to take stock and look ahead, to reflect collectively on the future of the age-friendly movement and to prepare for the next years to come. Transforming together. This is how the Congress theme begins. And I have to say that in a world increasingly marked by conflict and division, Spain once again demonstrates the power of solidarity and collaboration that is very much at the core of the age-friendly movement. You brought together 4 administrations, not 1, not 2. You brought together a number of partners, and you brought together us all here to make this Congress possible. Entonces, voy a pasar al español.
I'm going to speak Spanish now. I'm very sorry I cannot speak Basque. I've got my limitations. I just wanted to tell my colleagues that you are a source of inspiration for us, not just because of the solidarity we see in this conference, but also and especially, above all, for your sustained engagement with the age-friendly cities and communities for decades. And for that, from the World Health Organization, we will always feel thankful.
All my WHO colleagues, past and present. And I just came to know that Dr. Usman is also a next WHO fellow, for their and our relentless work in support of our global network around the world. Finally, I would also like to thank each and every one of you, whether you've been part of this journey for decades now or you have only joined our global family. Your commitment is essential. It's actually what moves this. It's what makes us advance towards a more connected, equitable, and sustainable age-friendly world for all generations. Now, Dr. Tedros really didn't want to meet our party, even if remotely, so he has kindly shared a short video which I hope we can show you now. So from my side, thank you. Muchas gracias. Escari Casco.
Excellencies, mayors, dear colleagues and friends, welcome to the World Congress on Age-Friendly Cities and Communities. Population aging is one of the great transformations of our time. People are living longer everywhere, but longevity alone is not enough. The real question is whether people can continue to live with dignity, health, connection, and purpose in the communities they call home. That's why age-friendly cities and communities matter. 20 years ago, WHO launched its first guidance on creating cities that are better places in which to grow older. Since then, this has become a global movement. Today, the WHO Global Network includes nearly 1,800 cities and communities across 60 countries, supporting more than 370 million people. But this movement is not about numbers. It's about lives. It's about communities where each and every person is welcome, respected, and included. It's about safe streets, accessible transport, adapted housing, nearby health and care services, and places where people across generations can remain connected and active as they age. As this Congress looks ahead, it will address vital issues including social connection, equity, and the sustainability of age-friendly cities and communities. From a grassroots leader to the head of the country, we can transform societies and create age-friendly communities for everyone across generations together. Thank you.
Bueno, en primer lugar, muchísimas.
Let me first of all thank you. A special thanks to the WHO and particularly to Thiago and the other colleagues from the WHO who are here. Thank you for trusting Spain. Thank you for trusting this diverse, highly diverse country. And of course, special thanks to our colleagues that are members of a group. We have a shared chat of 30 people who have been working in the organization of this conference. We have different approaches. We come from different cultures. We have 4 public administrations involved, 1 international body, a Nordic president. That is also something you need to note because she comes from a different culture as well. And she's been so patient and she's been able to adapt herself to Southern model. So thank you all for everything you've done. And I will now hand the floor to Mr. Pablo Bustinduy, Spanish Ministry for Social Rights, Consumer Affairs and 2030 Agenda. The floor is all yours.
La palabra.
Egunon.
Good morning to you all.
Everyone, permítame empezar.
Let me start by thanking you, Mr. Mayor, first of all, for all your effort. I know it takes a great deal of work to organize such a conference. 140 years ago, an ancestor of mine came to the city from the town of Eibar to start a school, a vocational training school, in order to share training and put it at the service of the general interest. And this city is currently still engaged with these objectives, and that is particularly positive and amazing. I would like to value all your effort. Thank you, Madam Regional Minister, thank you for being here. I would like to thank the President of the Provincial Council who is here, all representatives of different institutions and ambassadors. Thank you all for being here. I would also like to thank the World Health Organization and the International Federation of Aging, the ONCE Foundation, and very especially, if you allow me, I would like to thank Maite Sancho, who's been working very hard for this event to be possible.
Con todo el equipo del...
And I would also like to thank all the Inserso team. Maite, thank you for your knowledge, empathy. I think that you've got many skills, and that's really essential in this context we are now in. I would like to share a very short reflection with you. It would seem daring of me to say, okay, we're gathering here to think about better lives and to defend friendly cities and communities. I mean, we have we've been working for a long time, and we're living in a dark age. All the forces are pushing us in the opposite direction. They want us to prioritize society models that are revolving around competitiveness, selfishness, and violence. And we want to achieve the contrary, the opposite of this. I mean, everything that is age-friendly means that we don't see others as enemies, or behind everything that is friendly, we don't have this market relationship or trading relationship. We don't expect anything in return for what you do. A friend is not someone you look at, and you feel sad about them. No, you see them as equal. You take into consideration their experiences, their choices. So defending this term, this concept of friendly cities and communities, it means that we are very courageous. We're really brave. You listen to your friends, you take their desires, priorities into consideration, you support them, and of course you help them, always treating them as equals. And that is precisely our objective. This is a new wave of public policies focusing on aging. And all over the world we have a common objective, which is to overcome this past look of care. We want to move past that, and this is a new paradigm that we're going for. It is a 360-degree shift. Our public policies, our cultural constructions need to move from old models based on management of institutions and moving towards an approach that would be focusing on individuals, on the people that get care, and the people working as professionals and practitioners in the care, in the field of care. And obviously, it's going to be hard to achieve that goal, but our direction needs to be very clear in our minds. 2 years ago, we approved a new strategy towards a new model based on care, and the idea was to set a direction, to establish a direction for the future. Today, these days, together in this conference, you're going to be talking about age-friendly cities and communities. In this conference, you're going to be talking about the reform of the laws on dependency that aim at a new legal framework for this new model to be possible. Of course, we're going to be needing new initiatives, and there's going to be a deep cultural change. All of this needs to be sustainable, but every single step is absolutely essential. It's going to be key because it's going to help us create the necessary conditions for the next steps to be possible. This is what we're trying to do. It may seem simple, but it's hard. If you look at the figures, you see that when you ask people how they want to age, more than 90% of people answer that they want to age at home, in their neighborhood, in their town, in their city, in the best possible living conditions. And they want to be autonomous, independent. And this requires a very deep transformation of how we think about our system in terms of economy, transport, public policies, etc., etc. And all of this goes beyond everything you can think of. I mean, it goes beyond all the sectors. I mean, this is a deeply democratic cause. The destiny of democracies is at stake here. First of all, because older adults are not just the recipients of care. They are citizens, they are political subjects, and their participation depends on the social conditions they live in. Secondly, because aging, and this is something that Maite says very often, us aging, living longer is an achievement. This is one of the main effects thanks to the social progress we have achieved in our democracies. And so we need to adapt our democracies to these new conditions. This is it's survival that is at stake.
And then thirdly, all over the world, there are different attempts being made to set generations against each other, or set men and women against each other, or to set original settlers and immigrants against each other. Everyone's being set against each other in many different places of the world. And so whether or not we are successful will depend on whether we are able to move together towards a world that is universal, that is inclusive, and that goes against this new trend. And then finally, and perhaps a little bit more generally, a democracy is not just an electoral system. It's not just a system of choosing who is going to be in government. A democracy is more than that. A democracy should be able to guarantee the conditions that will guarantee the well-being of everyone, including older adults. So one of the main challenges that our democratic systems face is having to adapt everything to make sure that we will continue to enjoy well-being throughout all our life stages. And what we need to do first and foremost is to change our outlook, change the way we look at this issue. We need to make sure that people are center stage and understand democracies as the people who make them up, whether they are carers or people who are cared for. And to do that, we want to make sure that our communities are places of well-being for everyone throughout their entire life cycle. And that is the most noble cause, the most noble task that one could possibly imagine. It is the best way to respond to this very complex and difficult world in which we live. So we need to open the way and to forge a path towards friendlier cities. And we do hope that this conference will help to do that. Thank you very much.
Buen café.
So there's coffee outside for all of you. So I do hope you enjoy it because you certainly deserved it.